Hi and welcome to Faith Nation. My name is Faith. I'm glad you joined it. If you're new here, please do remember to like, comment, share, and even subscribe. I know there are 13, 20, 18 people who have been watching my videos, but thank you so much, y'all. I'm glad you have been because you've been keeping this girl company and been keeping this girl going. So the 232 people who have subscribed, please continue subscribing. Thank you so much. I am glad you did. But today I'm going to be sharing a video from a topic you've seen above. And yeah, I stole from God. I steal God. I stole God. I stole from God. Actually, I robbed. I robbed from God. I used to rob from God. And I'm sure people are going to be asking, ai uko sure ulienda mbinguni na ukachukua pesa ukanyang'anya God like ukachukua do. It's not like that, yo. It's not like that. It's I robbed God with tithes and offerings. So do tune in to see how I did it. So yeah, without further ado, let's start this video. So I have been working, y'all, from since I was, I guess, 18 years old. After from 4, yani, I started working. I went to work at a school, at a secondary school to be specific. But ilikuwa imejaa waremi. Waremi ni wale watu wako na tabia mbaya, watu wavutaji bangi, nini, and it was a mixed school actually. And it was amazing. I used to get paid and I used to tithe. Then after that, nikaingia pahali nikaanza kufanya kazi ya hardware. My friend, kazi ya hardware usicheze nayo. Hiyo itakumaliza. Kazi ya hardware, it's hard. It's hard. Because wacha nikwambie, you have to do a lot. I'm going to be talking about that story, but so after that I went to campus. So I joined campus and life was good. I never used to tithe because how can you tithe? You probably think if your dad is giving you money, he has probably tithed. So you never tithe because that was my thinking that time. And then after that I finished campus and I got a job and life was amazing. I used to get paid and I was getting paid. Kumbe maisha huku nje. Adulting is not a joke. You guys should have told me adulting is not a joke. So, kuna vitu za kununuliwa, there's gas, there's everything, there's nini shopping, nini, there's water, there's nini, bills. Then after that, I was like, God, I've used all my money. And I don't have money for fare. And I'll have niko na hii ya tithe imebaki. Mungu unaona kama tunaweza bargain. Wewe ubaki bila hii mwezi ingine nitaona venye nitakusort. But hii mwezi sioni kama nitakupea. And that's what I did. I used to not tithe. I used to think God is understanding. And specifically this month, I got paid. After getting paid, nikafanya kila kitu. I did everything. I paid, I bought this, I bought that, I paid this, I paid that. And nikabaki tu na pesa ya tithe exactly, I guess with 200 shillings juu. I didn't have fare. I have a whole like 3 weeks waiting for me to kuendelea na maisha. I have like 2 or 3 weeks because you're paid at your salary at maybe from date 5. So I was like, I have like 2 months. I have like 2 weeks to survive, and I didn't have anything else to survive with. So I was like, Mungu juu niko na hii pesa ya tithe. Suwache. And I remember praying that prayer kwa matatu. I was like, God, suwache tu. Nitumie hii pesa juu unaelewa wewe unajua unapitia kwa mabarabara za goro huko juu za gold huko juu. So I know you understand because you have some money. So siwache tu hii mwezi nisikupe hii, wache tu nijiekee kando nipate fare, nipate matumizi, then the next month nitakusort. I saw wewe God ukinikubalisha tu nitakusort. And let me tell you so, and I had a voice, yeah, Faith, use the money. And I was like, are you sure? Yes, use the money. And so, kumbe, this was not the voice of God. It was my own voice. And I remember being that patatu like, you know, like when someone gives you, anakupeanga deni, then anakwambia, unafikiria venye utamlipa, then anakwambia, don't worry about paying me katuna. You know, that is what I felt. I remember nikitoka kwa matatu, I found some lady who was selling some nice shoes, some nice rubber shoes. And I was like, since your pesa za God ameniambia like unaweza tumia I guess tunaweza anza na kununua hizi viatu. Remember, I saved the money because I was thinking, you see how when you don't give your tithe, you don't bring your tithe to God, the way you make wrong financial decisions. Instead of me putting that money and start using it for fare, started using it for, matumizi, I started using it by buy shoes and my hindi choma and my smoky barabara. And I bought this shoe. And I came home, the shoe was, guess was costing either 250, 200, 250, 300. And I came home. I came home, I started using money for hiyo pesa hata I don't do. Hiyo money ni kama iko hapa haiko, iko hapa haiko. You're using that money recklessly. I came home and nikaanza kupifiti like kiatu nione kama inanitoshea. It was amazing. To be specific, for those who love sneakers, it was Puma. And the shoe, the shoe. Kiatu ilikuwa inatoka ngozi. Imeraruka ukweli tuketi to the fundi. Kupeleka kwa fundi iwezi make. Soul inaachana na ngozi ya juu, nyama na soul. Zinafaa kuachana, and it was hard. I think that was my wake up call, because that was when I remembered, like, guy, Jehovah, niende mwishi, wewe mwishi, niende mwishi, wambeshe shangai. I used to steal. So that time I came to my realization, kumbe hii pesa, I sat down and I thought, hii pesa nimetumia na nini, sijatumia na kitu ya maana. I even bought torn shoes, it didn't help me at all. So that's when God started revealing to me, like, if you tithe, there's a big blessing. And my friends, let me tell you, my friends, after all that, the next month, God started speaking to me about, tithing. But then, funny enough, God started speaking to me. I guess that was my, like, wake up call. Wake up, you've been sleeping. Because I started finding, preachings that are talking about, tithing. To be specific, you can go listen to Pastor Robert Morris. He's like he's so amazing at that. You can go check him out. You can go check Transformation Church. If you watch Pastor Mike Todd, he has spoken. God has used him to speak about tithing, and that's where I listened to about, tithing and everything. And I learned about tithing. And let me tell you, unakumbuka I told you guys that I used to work at a hardware. Imagine I was not tithing as much. So kulikuwa na deni, and good thing God reminded me about your deni, because I knew what I was getting paid. So I knew the 10% of what I was getting paid. I had given some, but I hadn't given for for a month or something. And nilikuwa na deni, to be specific, nilikuwa na deni ya 700. And I came and God started speaking to me about giving. And ile deni yenye nilikula yenye nilinunua nayo viatu nikalipa. Ile deni yenye nilikuwa nayo ya nikiwa kwa hardware nikalipa. And after that God started speaking to me about giving. We are told where you are, your treasure is, there your heart is, right? Where the treasure is, there your heart is. Sitaki kuwa kama Wavinya. Kaito Wavinya ama itongo na that one. Okay, dry joke. So yeah, where your heart is, there your treasure is, or where your treasure is, there your heart is. Comment down below how it goes. So God started speaking about that to me and convicting me. I started giving. Let me tell you, COVID-19 came and my mshahara was cut. Nilianza kulipwa, like, I don't know, like, I guess kidogo money than I used to earn before. So I was kind of frustrated, asking why, But God brought it to my attention that He was now teaching me in this new season. The money that I was getting paid before, it was a lot of money. But I used to see kwa hiyo nafanyanga nini nayo. I buy clothes and that's it. I buy shoes and that's it. But now God came to show and started showing me how to. I used to earn less money. But now God started showing me how to plan it, how to divide it. And God, it is true that God takes away the devourer out of your money, the locust that can eat your money. Because let me tell you, since I started getting less money, but tithing, hey, my life has really transformed. God took me, there's a day I started tithing even twice. I could give 20% instead of 10. God has really changed my life. And I'm talking this from I'm not even here I'm a pastor to ask you to give me money. I'm talking this from a personal experience. To tell you, if you're out there and you have been robbing God, Please stop, because God will take away those things. You see, it is true. Just look at your money. Sit down and tell God to start showing you how you have been spending your money, and you will see ile pesa mingi unaningi unanuanga vitu hazi make sense. Utaenda upata na nguo hautaiva. You have hanged clothes you never wear. You have put shoes you never wear. I've told you about my experience. I robbed God and I bought torn shoes. Zitonga viatu ambazo zimeraruka, you know. Zilikuwa zimeraruka because I decided to steal from God and to hear my own voices. One thing I have come to learn, people are going to ask how I've gone to the discipline of tithing. One thing I have come to do is, before I spend the money, before I start saying nataka hii, I give God first. When you give, now he can, you know, it's like, one thing I always tell people is that, like, I learned this art of telling God to lead. You know, when you tell God to lead, you give first, you bring the tithe first, and then he will lead. So any locust that is on the way, anything that can eat up your money that is on the way, askari wenye huipa pesa, wanakuchoka, wanakubribe, unapata mtu wa mask, askari sijui wa nini, wapata hawako, like kuna venye tu your road is clean when you give God first. So instead of putting that money, we spend vitu zote, then ubakishe pesa, it is very tempting, because utapata pesa, obviously pesa haikosangi mashughuli. So you'll find kama hiyo pesa umeiweka kando, ati umeiweka somewhere kwa mattress, umeogojea tu ama kwa M-Pesa, ati ufanye vitu zako zote, then ubakishe pesa ya tithe. Like, I go, that is very tempting. Ukuna venye utapata tena utasikia mtu amekupigia, oh, ile deni yangu, then uchomoe ile pesa ya tithe. But if you give it first, God will go before you, and one thing, you will not have any kind of temptations that will be there ati because you have some money umeweka na ni ya tithe. Hakutakuwa na temptation na guilt yoyote. So that is what I have learned. I give God first, then mimi sasa na spend hii pesa yangu yenye imebaki. Either ni kidogo, I just spend it and I offer God. What offering is God telling you to give? Is it redemption money? I have talked about redeeming yourself. You know, you can check that video out. It is up to Kadwai's videos already. So if it's redemption money, you will be able to redeem yourself easily. Because I talk to people and they're like, how did you redeem yourself? You know, redeem yourself. You can give that kind of money. You can also give God, you know, offerings of thanksgiving, because you do it before anything else. I know there are people who have been saying, nitatoa pesa kwa kanisa, nita redeem myself, nitatoa pesa ya deliverance, but it has been so hard. It's because you start with things. You start paying school fees instead of start giving God. You start buying clothes instead of giving your tithe first. So stop robbing God, give him the money, bring the tithe first, and then after that, God is going to bless you. You will see the blessings yourself, and you'll come to tell me in this video. Because let me tell you, even though I have sijapata kazi ingine poa, let me tell you, the money imekuwa ikitosha. I have been seeing myself going from 1 month to 1 month. Mimi single last 1 month to 1 month. Either hiyo mwezi nitakuwa nimekopa pesa zangu kama 10. Because hizo 4 weeks, 5 weeks zinakaa ni kama 2 years. Because you know, God has not, but that now God sustains my money. Nizapata niko kwa hii mwezi, imagine nitafika hiyo mwezi ingine, and I have been using that money inatosha, like the money is enough. But when you rob from God, money is never enough. Ni kama tu venye serikali, watu huko tu my MPs wanatuibia, they will never stop stealing, because it will never be enough. The more you start stealing, the more unazita hazitoshi. That's why you find like watu husema ati huku nje ati if mimi nikaza kuwa MP, nikaza kuwa senator, nitaiba tu mwezi mmoja, nitaiba tu miaka 2, atakuiba miaka 2, then hizo zingine nifanye. Let me tell you, when you start stealing any kind of robbery, unasema kwa nini mwizi, kwa nini, well, the people who say that ati mimi nitakuwa mwizi for 2 months, then after nimepata pesa yangu niondokee. Hautaiondokea. Haiondokea. So you'd better stop stealing from God, because you will never stop. Okay? If you start, you'll never stop. Sorry for kujirudia hapo. So I'm going to be reading a scripture, and then I'm going to be ending it. I'm going to be reading from the book of Malachi 3. I know you, nyinyi wote kwa kanisa mnasomea wangu hiyo every time. Kila kachachi nasomanga hivyo time ya tithe and offering. But sometimes I've made it to be something to manipulate people to do. No, don't be manipulated. Please pray to God. Please pray to God and tell him to lead you through it. That is what I did. I prayed to God and I told him to lead me through it, because it's hard. But don't go to those preachers who manipulate you to give you the return, to give you nini. An offering We are told to give with a cheerful heart. You're not told to give with a forced heart, a heart that is bending. You give with a cheerful heart. So if God has told you to give this month, before even your salary comes, start praying to God, what should I give? What should I give? What should I give? And that money comes, you give with a joyful heart and a cheerful heart, because one thing you know is that you have done what God, you have obeyed God, But don't go to those churches, those preachers who come and manipulate us. Hey, toa kama hutoi Mungu atakulani. Please stop it, and don't go to those churches. Don't follow those people who manipulate people to give. God is saying, give it, bring. God will never come to your house and bring a hand and start. He will lead to it, because remember, God is our Father. He's not our principal that atakufuatafuata na viboko. No, He's our Father. Our Father loves, our Father cares, our Father protects. Such things. And so I'm going to be reading Malachi 3 from verse 1. Let me start from 8. 3:8. Will man rob God? Yet you are robbing me. But you say, how have we robbed you? In your tithes and contributions. Tithes and offerings. Another version says that. You are cursed with a curse, for you are robbing me, the whole nation of you. You see? You are cursed because you are robbing God. And that is the curse that is there, where you find pesa yako haitoshi, pesa haitoshi, unapatanga tu uko na madeni tu mwisho wa mwezi. It's because of such things. Because the moment you didn't give to God, a curse was brought. And now you have, like the curse I had, pesa haiko inafika hata mwisho wa mwezi. Nimeibia Mungu na bado haitoshi, as in haitoshi at all. But right now I don't steal from God, and that bado pesa yangu inatosha. So there must be a God in heaven who is working, okay? Who has taken away the curse. So other thing is from 10, now I'm reading verse 10. Bring the full tithe into the store. And one thing I have to say, God is not saying give. The word is saying bring. Even the other versions will say bring. Bring the tithe, all the tithes, to God. Because the difference between bring and give is to, nakupea hii. Bring ni kitu ni kama nikupea sufuria yangu, nikwambia rudisha hiyo sufuria. Bring my sufuria back. Bring my Bible back. Bring my phone back. You cannot give God. We're talking about the maker of the earth, the universe, the earth. Kila kitu je unaona hapa. The seas, the oceans, the rivers, the mountains, the sun, kila kitu. He has even, yeye ndio amekuumba wewe. What can you give? He owns everything. He's talking about heaven. They are walking in wanatembelea gold. Yani huko kuna tiles za gold. They are sleeping on golds and everything. So what can you give God? You cannot giving anything. But you will bring, because yeye ndio amekupea your pesa, so you bring the tithe. He's not talking about to give. When God was telling me to bring the tithes, He did not come and tell me, you have to start giving. He told me you have to start bringing. I give you this portion of salary. It's me who has awarded you that job, because there are so many people who are out there who don't have jobs, who don't have opportunities that you have. The opportunities you have, they don't even have opportunities to get paid. But I have allowed you an opportunity to get paid. Please bring this money. And the reason why He's saying to bring the money, because people are going to be asking, why should we bring if He owns the universe? Okay, bring the full tithe into the storehouse. He's also saying, bring the money to heaven, no, to the storehouse, and there will be maybe food in my house, and thereby put me to the test, says the Lord. He's saying that bring the tithes. That there will be hizo ndio vitu zanunua viti kwa kanisa. Pastors could not be manipulative if you guys would bring, you bring your tithes. So that wajenge kanisa, watengeneze, kukuwe na everything that the church needs. So that other people, the widow, the orphans, they can come and feed from the storehouse. The storehouse is the church at this point. And God is saying, test me, nijaribu. It's like when I tell you guys, I test you to subscribe. To subscribe as you're watching this video. Subscribe. That is, I'm like testing you. God is saying test. And thereby put me to the test, says the Lord of hosts. If I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you the blessings until there's no more need. He's saying nijaribu. When someone says nijaribu, it's like when you're fighting someone and says, well, kuja tu unipige. That person must be very strong to be telling you to come and fight me. And the God is saying, test me. and see if I'll not open up the floodgates of heaven and pour out blessings until you not even need them anymore. Imagine. Like, I have everything. I have a sauna. I have a spa. In a swimming pool. Oh, let me dip myself in a swimming pool. And you have everything. You have workers, you have mates, you have everything. God is saying, test me, and I will open up the floodgates of heaven until everything you want is there. I will rebuke the devourer and for you so that it will not destroy the fruits of your soil, and your vine in the fields shall not fail to bear, says the Lord of hosts. Then all nations will call you blessed, for you will be a land delight, says the Lord of hosts. Your words have been heard again. So that you can read from verse 7. You can even read the whole of Malachi 3. And you will see that God is saying that He will rebuke the devourer and He will go ahead of you. Yani kila kitu nyinaweza kula, the locust, kila kitu wezi. You'll find that vitu zako hazibiwi. You'll find that upatani na maaskari huiba. You'll find all these things, and all the nations will call you blessed. So, friends and family, please don't rob God. I'm telling you, I'm a personal testimony that God can really do it. He removed every, and I'm talking about every kind of devourer. Mimi wacha nikwambie, do the muriatia, my friends. Do the muriatia. God is a God who keeps His word. And you know God is saying, test me. You know, test me. You're testing someone who, who wants everything. And He's saying, test me. But please, if you have been, God has been convicting you to give your tithes, to give your offerings, to give your redemption money, everything He has been telling you to do, please do it. If you are earning some salary, you are earning some amount of money, tithe. Sometimes me, I don't even, people say that you tithe only your salary. Sometimes I earn something, even it's ka biashara ka deal, and by the way, I always tithe. Tithe, and it's going to. I told you are going to find that your money inatosha. Atakuondolea madeni, atakuondolea vitu mingi. That is if you bring yourself to tithing. May God bless you so much. Have an amazing week, and remember to subscribe, like, comment, share to your friends this video. If you have church groups, you can take this link and share it. If you have a WhatsApp status, you can put it on your WhatsApp status, your Instagram status, Facebook status, and I will be so happy. God bless you. I love you, but God loves you more.